Samantha had always been fascinated by history, spending countless hours poring over old texts and documents in the library. So, when she landed a job as an archivist at the local historical society, she felt like all of her dreams had come true. On her first day, Samantha arrived at the historical society bright and early, eager to start her new job. She was shown to her workspace, a small room filled with old documents, maps, and photographs. As she began to sort through the boxes, she noticed a strange, almost magnetic pull towards a particular set of documents. She pulled out the box and carefully began to sift through the contents. As she was flipping through an old diary, she heard the door creak open. She looked up and saw a man standing in the doorway, a look of curiosity on his face. "Sorry to interrupt," the man said. "I was just wondering if you needed any help. I'm a history major, and I love this stuff." Samantha felt her heart skip a beat. She had always been a bit of an introvert and wasn't used to strangers approaching her, especially not handsome ones. Sure," Samantha said, feeling a bit flustered. "I could use a hand going through these documents." The man walked over to her and introduced himself as Michael. As they worked together, Samantha found herself completely absorbed in the task at hand, barely noticing the time passing by. Before she knew it, it was time for the Historical Society to close for the day. As they were packing up, Michael turned to Samantha. "I know this might sound crazy," he said, "but would you like to grab a coffee with me? I feel like we could talk for hours." Samantha felt a rush of excitement in her chest. She had only just met this man, but she felt like she had known him for years. "I'd like that," Samantha said, feeling a smile spread across her face. As they walked out of the Historical Society together, Samantha felt a sense of wonder. She always believed that love across time was possible, and she couldn't help but feel like this was the start of something special. The night of the first date was perfect. The stars were out, and the moon was shining bright, creating a romantic atmosphere. Samantha and Michael shared stories, laughed, and talked about everything under the sun. They enjoyed each other's company so much that they lost track of time and didn't realize how late it had gotten. As they walked back to their cars, Samantha and Michael couldn't help but feel like they had known their love interest for much longer than just a few hours. They said goodnight, and our protagonist watched as their love interest drove away, feeling the warmth of their hearts spreading through their chest. The next day, they woke up with a smile on their face, still reliving the moments from the previous night. They couldn't wait to see their love interest again and plan their next date. The first date had set the bar high, but our lovebirds was excited to see where their relationship would go from here. As Samantha and Michael's love interest grew closer, they encountered an unexpected obstacle that threatened to tear them apart. It was a work issue for our couple that required them to move to a different city. Samantha and Michael were heartbroken by the news, but they knew they couldn't stand in the way of their love interest's career aspirations. Despite the distance, they decided to give the long-distance relationship a try. They promised to communicate regularly and make time for each other, but it wasn't easy. The distance between them felt like an insurmountable obstacle at times, and the strain began to take its toll on their relationship. There were moments when our protagonist doubted if they could make it work, but every time they felt that way, their love interest would send a sweet message or call them, reassuring them that they were in this together. Our protagonist realized that love wasn't always easy, but it was worth fighting for. The obstacle that they had faced actually brought them closer together, and they were able to build a stronger foundation for their relationship. They learned to cherish the time they had together and make the most of every moment. The distance between them didn't seem so insurmountable anymore. Despite their best efforts, the distance between Samantha and Michael became too much to bear. The constant phone calls, video chats,
and texts just couldn't replace the feeling of being in each other's arms.
They both knew it was time to take a break and focus on their individual lives for a while. The separation was hard, and they couldn't help but feel a deep sense of sadness and loneliness.
They tried to keep themselves busy with work, hobbies, and spending time with friends, but the absence of their love interest was always there in the back of their mind. The weeks turned into months, and it felt like an eternity since they had last seen each other.
But they kept their promise to keep in touch, sending occasional messages to check in on each other and update them on their lives.
One day, out of the blue, Samantha received a surprise visit from her love interest. Michael had flown back to see her and surprise her with a heartfelt gesture. Samantha was overjoyed to see them, and the separation that had felt so long suddenly became insignificant. They spent the next few days catching up on lost time, exploring the city, and enjoying each other's company. It was as if the separation had never happened. But as their time together came to an end, they knew they would have to face the reality of another separation.
They hugged each other tightly, promising to keep in touch and see each other again soon. They each watched their love interest leave, feeling a mix of sadness and hope.
They knew that no matter the distance, they would always find their way back to each other.
As the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, Samantha and Michael continue to stay connected despite the distance. They have long phone calls, send flirty texts, and even have virtual date nights over video chat.
Though they miss each other terribly, they find solace in the knowledge that they're both doing everything they can to make their relationship work.
They share their thoughts, dreams, and daily experiences with one another, feeling grateful for the technology that brings them closer despite the physical distance. They also plan for the future, talking about what they'll do when they're finally reunited. They make lists of all the places they want to visit together and all the things they want to do. These plans give them hope and something to look forward to when they're feeling down, despite the challenges of the distance. Our protagonist and their love interest continue to grow stronger as a couple. They know that their love can withstand anything, even the miles that separate them.
After months of enduring the distance between them, Samantha and Michael are finally reunited. The moment they see each other again is electric, and they run into each other's arms, holding each other tightly. As they embrace, they feel a sense of comfort and familiarity, as though no time has passed at all. They spend their first few days together catching up on all the little things they've missed, from sharing meals to taking long walks and exploring new places. The time apart has only made their bond stronger, and they feel grateful to finally be together again.
They make up for lost time, going on adventures and enjoying each other's company, making new memories that they know they'll cherish forever.
Whether it's trying new restaurants or visiting local museums, they soak up every moment together, grateful for every second they get to spend in each other's company. As they look at each other, they know that no matter what the future holds, they'll always be there for each other, and their love will continue to grow stronger with each passing day.
After spending months apart, Samantha and Michael finally admit their true feelings to each other. It happens on a warm summer evening while they're sitting by the river, watching the sunset. As they talk, their words start to sound like poetry, and their feelings spill out uncontrollably.
They confess how much they've missed each other, how their lives have felt incomplete without the other, and how they can't imagine ever being apart again. There's a moment of silence as they both take in the weight of what they've just said. Then they lean in for a kiss, and everything falls into place. Their love for each other is undeniable, and they both know that they want to spend the rest of their lives together.
After confessing their love, Samantha and Michael feel like they are on top of the world. They can't wait to share their happiness with those closest to them. They decide to throw a celebration, inviting all of their friends and family. The evening is filled with laughter, good food, and even better company. Our couple feels grateful to have so many people around them who support and care for their relationship. As they dance the night away, they can't help but feel like they are in a fairy tale.
This is the moment they have been waiting for, and it's even better than they could have ever imagined. As the night comes to an end, our couple feels overwhelmed with love and gratitude. They know that they have found something special, and they can't wait to see what the future holds for them.
Samantha and Michael had been through so much together. The obstacles, the distance, the reunion, the confession, and the celebration of their love.
They had come a long way since that fateful night they met at the bookstore. As they sat together in the park, surrounded by the lush greenery and the sounds of nature, Michael took Samantha's hand in his and looked into her eyes.
He knew he had found the one he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. "Samantha," he said, his voice soft and filled with emotion. "I love you more than anything in this world.
You are my soulmate, my partner, and my best friend. I want to spend the rest of my life making you happy and building a life together." Samantha's eyes filled with tears as she looked at Michael. She felt the same way. He was her everything, and she couldn't imagine her life without him. "Michael," she said, her voice trembling with emotion, "I love you too. You are the most amazing person I have ever met, and I feel so lucky to have you in my life. I want to commit myself to you, to love you, and to be with you forever." With that, Michael pulled out a small box from his pocket, and Samantha gasped as he opened it to reveal a beautiful ring.
He slipped it onto her finger, and she beamed with joy. They hugged each other tightly, feeling the warmth of their love enveloping them.
They knew they had made the right decision, and they were excited about their future together.
As they walked hand in hand towards the setting sun, they knew that their commitment to each other would be the foundation of their love and the key to their happiness.
They were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that they had each other to lean on. As they lay in each other's arms, the night sky blankets them with its comforting darkness. The stars twinkle above them, a reminder of the endless possibilities that lay ahead. Our protagonist and their love interest talk about their hopes and dreams, discussing the future they want to build together. They imagine a life filled with love, joy, and adventure, and they vow to make it a reality. They fall asleep, feeling content and fulfilled, knowing that they have found the love of their life.
As they drift off to sleep, they are grateful for each other and the journey that brought them together. The night air is filled with the gentle sound of their breathing as they sleep peacefully, dreaming of the future they will create together. And as the first rays of sunlight peek through the window, they awaken, ready to face whatever the future holds, hand in hand and heart to heart.